Hello students, good morning. This is Somasundari. Today we are discussing about History Unit 10. The topic is Rise of the Dravidian Movement. Before starting the class, I will ask few questions from previous topic. Are you ready? Okay, let's start. Dash was the first non-European language that went for print. Dash was the first non-European language that went for print. Have you got the answer? Okay. Answer is Tamil. Answer is Tamil. Ramalinga Adigal, popularly known as Dash. Ramalinga Adigal, popularly known as Dash. Answer is Ballalar. Ballalar. Who was considered the father of Tamil linguistic purism? Who was considered the father of Tamil linguistic purism? Answer is Maraimalai Adigal. Maraimalai Adigal. Who was the pioneer of social reformer in India? Who was the pioneer of social reformers in India? Answer is Rajaram Mohan Rai. Answer is Rajaram Mohan Rai. In 1816, Dash founded the College of Fort St. George. In 1816, Dash founded the College of Fort St. George. Answer is F.W. Ellis. F.W. Ellis. Okay, children. I hope all are got correct answer, isn't it? Well done. Now we are going to today's topic, the rise of the Dravidian movement. In India, Brahmins enjoyed a high school status based on their birth and held great social privileges. In Madras Presidency, Brahmins dominated all the fields of society, especially politics, education, and job opportunities in the government. In 1911, census showed the Brahmins a slightly over 3% of Madras Presidency's population and non-Brahmins 90%. Yet, in the 10 years from 1901 to 1911, Madras University turned out 4,074 Brahmin graduates compared with only 1,035 non-Brahmin graduates. Numbers for other groups based on how the population came to be classified then included Indian Christian 306, Mohammedan 69, and European and Eurasian 225. In this context, the Dravidian movement emerged as a defense of the non-Brahmins against the Brahmin dominance. An organization called the Madras Non-Brahmin Association was founded in 1909. When was Madras Non-Brahmin Association founded? 1909. The Madras Non-Brahmin Association was founded in 1909 to help the non-Brahmin students. In 1912, C. Nadesanar, a medical doctor, founded the Madras United League, later renamed as Madras Dravidian Association to support Dravidian uplift. The organization focused on educating and supporting non-Brahmin graduates and conducting regular meetings to share their grievances. Meanwhile, Nadesanar founded a hostel, the Dravidian Home, at Triplicane in July 1916 to address the lack of hostels for the non-Brahmin students, which hindered their educational development. In addition, the home had a literary society for the benefit of non-Brahmin students. Next, I will explain South Indian Liberal Federation. The South Indian Liberal Federation, also known as Justice Party. As World War I was in progress in the British government was considering the introduction of representative institutions for Indians after the war, fearing that such political reforms would further strengthen the political power of Brahmins. Educated non-Brahmins decided to organize themselves politically. On 28 November 1916, around 30 prominent non-Brahmin leaders including Dr. C. Nadesanar, Sri Pitti Tyagarayar, T. M. Nair and Alamelu Mangai Tayarammal came together to form the South Indian Liberation Federation. In the meantime, at the meeting held at the Victoria Public Hall, the Non-Brahmin Manifesto was released in December 1916. The manifesto articulated the voice of the non-Brahmin communities. They surveyed the general condition of the non-Brahmins in Madras Presidency. The association started publishing 3 newspapers: Dravidan in Tamil, Justice in English, and Andhra Prakashika in Telugu, to propagate the ideal of the party. Students, this is very important short answer. Note it down. Name the newspaper published from South Indian Liberal Foundation. Dravidan in Tamil, Justice in English, and Andhra Prakashika in Telugu. Okay. The first election under the Montagu-Semsford reforms was held in 1920 after the introduction of diarchy form of the government in the provinces. The Justice Party won the election and formed the first ever Indian cabinet in Madras. A. Subbarayalu became the Chief Minister of the Madras Presidency, and the party formed the government during 1920-23 and 1923-1926. In the context of Congress Party byhearting the legislature, the Justice Party continued to remain in office till 1937. Elections were held. In the 1937 elections, the Indian National Congress contested the elections for the first time to trounce the Justice Party.
At the end of the topic, you will be able to discuss the justice movement, explain the role of the Justice Party, describe the achievements of the Justice Party, analyze the decline of Justice Party. V.O. Chidambarapillai, Subramania Bharati, Bal Gangadhar Tilak, Mahatma Gandhi, Jawaharlal Nehru, and C. Rajagopalachari were actively involved in the freedom struggle in the 19th and 20th centuries. The great leaders of Tamil Nadu fought both for political and social freedom. Political freedom is meaningless when people are denied social justice, self-respect, and dignity. The Justice Party secured a majority in the election of 1920, and Subbarayalu Reddiyar formed the ministry. In 1923, the Justice Party again won the elections, and T. M. Sivanyana Pillai formed the ministry. The Swarajya Party got success in 1926 elections but refused to form the ministry. A. Subbarayalu, an independent candidate, constituted the government with the support of the Swarajya Party. B. Munnusamy Naidu formed the ministry as the Justice Party won the elections in 1930. In 1932, Raja of Bobili replaced him. Congress Party won the elections of 1934, but they refused to form the ministry, so the Justice Party formed the ministry. The Justice Party failed miserably and never recovered from the defeat after the 1937 elections. Periyar E.V. Ramasamy led the Justice Party and his self-respect movement. Periyar changed the Justice Party into a social organization known as Dravidar Kalagam and withdrew it from electoral politics in 1944 at the Salem Conference. Caste-based reservations, educational and religious reforms were introduced by the Justice Party. In the most critical period in Indian history, the Justice Party came to power. A good government was given by the Justice Party for some time. An era of rural development through economic and social reforms was introduced by the Justice Party. The Justice Party government corrected the imbalance in the representation of different communities and improved the status of the depressed classes. The communal government orders of 1921 and 1922 provided reservation in local bodies and educational institutions for non-Brahmins. To offer an impartial process of selection, this government created a staff selection board in 1924, and this became the Public Service Commission in 1929. For the benefit of all communities, college committees were created to regulate higher educational institutions. In 1925, Andhra University and in 1929, Annamalai University were opened. To regulate temple accounts, temple committees were formed. In 1926, the Hindu Religious Endowment Bill was passed. The women were granted the right to vote in 1921. It abolished Devadasi system, prevented immoral traffic of women and passed the Industries Act. The government gave free pattas for housing sited to the poor. The midday meal scheme was introduced at Thousand Lights. Tyagaraja Chettiar strengthened the school. It encouraged Ayurveda, Siddha and Unani medical education. The Congress party under C. Rajagopalachari established the ministry. When the Justice Party failed miserably in the 1937 elections, the Justice Party never recovered from this defeat. There were numerous reasons for its failure. The Justice Party came to power when the world was in economic depression. The nationalist movement was popular and heading for freedom. Caste and wealth played a vital role, hence the party lost its hold. The rise of Congress under the leadership of Gandhiji became a formidable challenge to the Justice Party. The Justice Party lost its strength after a few years of its existence. In this topic you have learnt, in 1916 the Justice Party was established by T.M. Nair and Tyagaraja Chetty. The Justice Party represents the non-Brahmin movement. Periyar E.V. Ramasamy changed the Justice Party into a social organization known as Dravidar Kalagam. The Justice Party introduced caste-based reservations, educational and religious reforms. The Justice Party failed miserably in the 1937 elections and the Congress Party was established.
Next, I'll explain programs and activities of Justice Party. It's very important paragraph question, so listen carefully. The Justice Party is a fountainhead of the non-Brahmin movement in the country. The Justice Party government widened education and employment opportunities for the majority of the population and created space for them in the political sphere. Tamil Nadu legacy of social justice owes its existence to the formative years of Justice Party in power. The Justice removed the legal hindrances restricting intercaste marriages and broke the barriers that prevented depressed classes from the use of public wells and tanks. The Justice Party government ordered the public schools accommodate the children of the depressed classes. Hostels were established for the students belonging to social groups in 1923. In the meantime, the Madras legislature under the Justice government was the first to approve participation of women in the electoral politics in 1921. This resolution created space for women and thus facilitated Muthulakshmi Ammayar to become the first woman legislator in India in 1926. Justice Party worked towards legislating provisions for communal representation, reservations for various communities. Two communal government orders, 16th September 1921 and 15th August 1922, were passed to ensure equitable distribution in appointments among various castes and communities as a part of achieving social justice. The Justice Party role established the Staff Selection Board in 1924 for the selection of government officials and encouraged all the communities to share the administrative powers. In 1929, the government of British India adopted the pattern and established the Public Service Commission. The Justice Party further concentrated in reforms of religious institutions. Tamil Nadu has a large number of temples and these commanded huge resources. In general, the resources were monopolized, exploited by the dominated caste in the society and led to mismanagement of public resources. The Justice Party introduced the Hindu Religious Endowment Act in 1926 and enabled any individual, irrespective of their caste affiliation, to become a member of the temple committee and govern the resources of the religious institutions. Justice Party, the greatest political and social efforts in Dravidian country. Also discuss this party following different policy and thoughts. The purpose of this study is people identification, the reconstruction and revolution to achieve and changing the rule in their society. These all provincial parties played a significant task in deciding the configuration of British rule. Children, now I will discuss one more question from today's topic. Listen carefully. The Justice Party was established in dash. The Justice Party was established in dash. Answer is 1916. 1916. Next, the Madras Non-Brahmin Association was founded in 1909 to help the dash students. The Madras Non-Brahmin Association was founded in 1909 to help the dash students. Answer is non-Brahmin. Non-Brahmin. Next, in 1921, the Justice Party granted women the right to dash. The 1921 Justice Party granted women the right to dash. Answer is vote. Vote. Next, the Justice Party failed in the year. Justice Party failed in the year dash. Answer is 1937. 1937. Next, South Indian Liberal Federation is otherwise known as dash. South Indian Liberal Federation is otherwise known as dash. Answer is Justice Party. Answer is Justice Party. Dash was established by the Justice Party government for the selection of government officials. Dash was established by the Justice Party government for the selection of government officials. Answer is Staff Selection Board. Answer is Staff Selection Board. Dash was the first to approve participation of women in the electoral politics. Dash was the first to approve participation of women in the electoral politics. Answer is Justice Party government. Justice Party government. The first woman legislator in India was dash. The last question. The first woman legislator in India was dash. Answer is Muthulakshmi Reddy. Muthulakshmi Reddy. Okay, children, now we are going to end of this session. I hope you are all observing the class properly. Children, tomorrow I will ask few questions from today's topic. So revise properly. Don't forget it. Thank you, children. See you next class.